the Lantern Widow. The fog had a mind of its own that night. It crept through the narrow streets of Whitby like a living thing, curling around lampposts, swallowing doorways, and dimming even the bravest flicker of light. Eleanor Whitby stood at her garden gate, clutching a brass lantern against her chest as though it were her own heart. Its glow trembled in her shaking hands, throwing her shadow long across the cobblestones. Every night since the war had ended, she lit the lanterns. One for every year he'd been gone. One for Thomas, her husband, her ghost, her grief. The townsfolk called her the Lantern Widow, whispering that she'd gone mad waiting for a man who would never return. But she knew what she'd seen, the shape of him at dusk, standing by the moor's edge, half hidden in the fog. She walked the same path each evening, up the hill toward the old chapel ruins. The mist always thickened there, carrying with it a strange metallic scent, like rust or blood. Some nights, she thought she heard footsteps behind her, soft and deliberate, but when she turned, only fog met her eyes. Still, she whispered his name into the darkness, as if faith alone could call him home. Then, one night, the fog parted. He stood there, Thomas, unchanged, unaged, in the same uniform he'd worn the day he left. His skin was pale as the moon, his lips colorless, his eyes too bright. The lantern light wavered between them, and Eleanor's heart clenched at the impossible sight. "Thomas," she breathed. He smiled, a tender, haunting smile that seemed stitched together by sorrow. "You kept the light for me," he said softly, voice echoing like wind through stone. Eleanor took a step closer, the ground soft beneath her shoes. "They told me you were gone, that the sea took you." "The sea gave me back," he whispered. She wanted to run to him, to feel his arms around her again, but something in his stillness held her back. There was no breath in the space between them, no warmth in the air, only the steady thrum of the lantern flame. Thomas smiled, a broken, beautiful thing, and took her hand. His touch was cold, yet it carried a strange familiarity, like the chill of a winter morning before sunrise. "I never left," he murmured, and for a heartbeat, Eleanor believed him. The world seemed to hush, the fog holding its breath, the trees standing sentinel. She could smell the faint trace of iron on his clothes, could see how the lamplight quivered in his eyes like dying embers. But then she felt it, the pulse of hunger behind his tenderness, the ache of something not quite human. His thumb brushed her wrist, lingering too long on the warmth of her blood. A memory flashed in her mind. Their wedding night, the lanterns glowing across the lake, his promise that he would always find her light in the dark. And now he had. But at what cost? The lantern dropped, shattering on the stones, its flame snuffed by the mist. In that final burst of light, she saw his reflection twist, fangs glinting, the pallor of death reclaiming him. Yet she did not recoil. Instead, she stepped forward, tears cutting through the soot on her cheeks, and pressed her forehead against his chest. "If you're damned," she whispered, "then damn me too." Thomas's embrace tightened, desperate and trembling. He lowered his lips to her neck, and the fog swallowed her cry, a sound not of terror, but of surrender. The mist thickened, curling around them like silk as the lantern's last ember faded into ash. By morning, Whitby Manor stood silent, its windows veiled in frost. But the villagers swore that 2 lanterns still burned out on the moor, faint, flickering, never extinguished. Some said it was a warning, others, a love story too enduring for heaven or hell to break. And on nights when the fog rolled in thick and red, as rust travelers sometimes heard a piano, faintly playing through the mist, a melody of longing and loss echoing from the house, where 2 souls danced forever between life and death.